A single lion's body can carry up to 500 kilograms of meat, enough to feed an entire village for months. But if you actually ate that meat, there's a real chance you'd never make it home. Sounds strange, right? We eat cows, chickens, goats, but never lions, tigers, or wolves. Is their meat poisonous? Does it just taste terrible? Or has nature quietly built a rule that we're not meant to break? Today we're uncovering the hidden science behind this, and by the end, you'll never look at the food chain the same way again. To understand the answer, we first need to understand the food chain. At the bottom are plants, which make their own food using sunlight. Then come herbivores, cows, goats, deer, rabbits, zebras that survive by eating those plants. And at the very top sit predators, lions, wolves, tigers, crocodiles, sharks that survive by hunting other animals. That one difference, who eats what, creates several hidden problems that make predator meat dangerous for humans. And the first one is the most shocking of all. Imagine a tiny fish living in polluted water. It absorbs a small amount of mercury. Now, a bigger fish eats hundreds of those small fish, and all that mercury builds up inside its body. Finally, a shark eats hundreds of those bigger fish, and now the mercury is even more concentrated. The higher an animal sits in the food chain, the more toxins it accumulates. That's exactly why health experts warn people against eating too much shark or swordfish. They carry far more mercury than smaller fish. The same principle applies to land predators too. The toxins may differ, but animals at the top of the food chain almost always carry higher concentrations of harmful substances than herbivores. So the animal that looks the most powerful is often the one quietly carrying the most poison inside it. But toxins aren't the only threat. Every wild animal carries bacteria and parasites, but predators carry far more than herbivores do. A lion spends its entire life eating zebras, antelope, and buffalo. A wolf hunts deer, rabbits, and wild pigs. Every animal they consume may already carry parasites, and over time, those parasites build up inside the predator's body. Dangerous parasites like tapeworms, roundworms, and trichinella are far more common in carnivores than in plant-eating animals. If a human eats infected predator meat that isn't cooked properly, those parasites can spread into the human body too. And it doesn't stop there. Predators often hunt weak, injured, or sick animals because they're easier to catch. Some predators even scavenge on dead animals, exposing themselves to bacteria and viruses that healthy herbivores rarely encounter. Since predators sit at the top of the food chain, they come into contact with diseases from dozens of different species. Over their lifetime, early humans had no idea what germs or parasites even were, but experience taught them that staying away from predators was simply the safer choice. Let's take a lighter moment here. Even if predator meat were completely safe, most people still wouldn't enjoy eating it. Predators are built to hunt. They run, jump, chase, climb, and fight almost every single day. That constant activity makes their muscles dense, lean, and extremely tough. Unlike cows, which spend most of their time slowly grazing, predators build powerful muscle with almost no fat. Fat is what makes meat tender and flavorful. So predator meat is often described as dry, chewy, and gamey. People who've legally eaten lion or bear meat say it simply doesn't compare to beef or chicken. Nature built predators to be efficient hunters, not delicious meals. There's also a very practical reason humans never farmed predators. Imagine trying to raise thousands of lions on a farm. What would they even eat? A cow can survive on grass, but every single lion would need enormous amounts of meat every single day. To produce just one lion for food, farmers would first need to raise dozens of herbivores just to feed that one animal. It's an incredibly inefficient process that wastes land, water, time, and energy. Raising herbivores is far cheaper because plants grow much more easily than meat does. That's exactly why cows, goats, sheep, and chickens got domesticated, while predators stayed wild. But here's a twist. In some parts of the world, people actually do eat certain predators. Crocodile meat is considered a delicacy in several countries. Some communities eat snake, alligator, shark, and even bear meat. But these animals have to be handled and cooked with extreme care because many of them carry dangerous parasites or high levels of toxins. Bear meat, for example, can contain trichinella parasites. while large sharks can carry unsafe mercury levels. So eating predator meat is technically possible. It just comes with a lot more risk. And if you're wondering why supermarkets don't just sell lion meat, the answer is simple. Most predators are protected by wildlife laws and many species are endangered. Hunting them is illegal in most countries. And even where it is legal, raising them would be extremely expensive, with very few people actually wanting to buy tough, risky meat. Perhaps the most important reason of all is that predators are essential for keeping ecosystems healthy. They control herbivore populations and stop animals like deer, zebra, and antelope from overpopulating. Without predators, ecosystems become unbalanced. Vegetation disappears, and entire habitats can collapse. Predators aren't just hunters. They're nature's population control system. Wiping out large numbers of them for food would destroy the natural balance that keeps wildlife alive. So, can humans eat predator meat? Yes, but it's almost never a good idea. Predator meat carries more parasites, more diseases, more toxins, tougher muscle, and costs far more to produce than meat from herbivores. Over thousands of years, humans naturally chose the safer, healthier, more efficient option. That's why our farms are full of cows, not lions. Our plates hold chicken, not wolf. And our supermarkets sell beef, not tiger steak. The food chain quietly decided how humans eat, long before anyone understood the science behind it. But here's a question that's still unanswered. If predators are this dangerous, how do the people who do eat bear or crocodile meat actually survive it? That's exactly what we're covering in the next video. So make sure you're subscribed. And now tell me, if you had the chance to safely taste lion meat just once, would you try it? Let me know in the comments.